Welcome back to my channel, Sunshine Shoulders. I'm Calvin. Thank y'all so much for stopping by today. You better get out of here while you can. Stop putting off tomorrow what you can do today. I want to talk a little bit about that. You know, unless you've been hiding underneath a rock or something, you can't turn on the television, the radio, YouTube, podcast without them talking about Liberation Day and these tariffs. And I just want to talk a little bit about how that's going to affect your airline tickets and that vacation you've been putting off to the Philippines or wherever it is you're going. Because you know we're the world's greatest procrastinators. Excuse me. You know you got experts on both sides of the aisle. And they really can't agree on anything but one thing. That prices are going to go up. And I don't know if you knew, but once I heard about the tariffs, I looked up how was it going to affect the airline, the ticket prices. Well, I'll be damned, the airlines were struggling already. Stocks were already down. Something like 1/3, since the beginning of the year. Well, they were the hardest hit by these tariffs. Sorry. Yeah, those tariffs are going to be terrorists on us, the regular guy. And, demand is down. And also, just across the board, airlines are going to be affected. And if they want to stay in business, they're going to have to pass those costs on to the consumer, to us. So the ticket that you may be able to afford right now, 6 months down the line, you may not can afford. But it's crazy, right? I was just talking about this the other day, about people watching this are broke. Remember that? Y'all think I just be on here yapping. 62% of us are living paycheck to paycheck. So imagine how much worse our situation is going to get. I'm talking about for the regular guys. I'm not talking about the super rich, the 1%ers. They can withstand the pain for however long. We can't even take it for the short run. And most of the things we buy with our money, the soap, toothpaste, food, fruits and vegetables, are going to go up immediately. But anyway, how much more is that going to affect us? Prices going up, but our salaries are staying the same. And then, what's going to be affected? Well, according to the analyst, it's going to affect the whole economy. And they gave some worst case and best case scenarios, but it's basically this. We're consumer addicts. We're going to buy it no matter how much it costs anyway. Remember I told you, we're going to keep buying stuff. We're addicted to that already. We're like crackheads. If they raise the price of crack, they're still going to smoke it. They're just going to have to sell more, steal more, do whatever it is. They have to do more to get the crack. It's going to be the same with you. So I'm just saying right now, go ahead and take the vacation that you've been putting off. Some guys, man, that correspond with me back and forth, they've been putting it off ever since I've been on YouTube, over 4 years. I talked to a guy today. He says, oh, yeah, I'll see you over there in December. Will you? First of all, you know how much money you got. You don't know how much time you got. You don't know if you're going to be here in December. But we're consumer addicts. And the worst case scenario, the guy did some numbers with tariff percents with China and Taiwan. He said, imagine paying $3,500 for an iPhone that you're paying $1,000 for right now. And I know you're saying, Cal, that's crazy. There's no way, that's going to happen. Well, we don't know. There's a lot of uncertainty going on. Things like that, it's going to take a little while because some companies were smart. They anticipated these tariffs, so they said, okay, we're going to stock up on some stuff that we normally sell. And that's what the experts tell you. Right now, if you buy stuff on a consistent basis, week to week, month to month, you need to be stocking up on that now. It's going to help you. But they're asking us to do things right now overnight that we're not used to doing. That's why we're in the situation we're in now. Save, manage our money better, prioritize our spending. Okay, we don't do that very well. That's why we're living paycheck to paycheck. So with the tariffs coming on, it's going to affect everything across the board. Some immediate, those Jordans, you're going to buy them. They're just going to cost more. The big screen TV, all of that stuff, because we're not going to stop buying. It's going to be the same thing with that airline ticket. So go ahead and get it now. Stop putting it off, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to regret it. You're going to regret it. Don't say Sunshine Shoulders didn't tell you. But before I go on, let me say this. Let me remind you, I'm in Chicago right now, and our meet and greet is tomorrow at Geno's East Pizzeria, 162 East Superior, right off Michigan Avenue. Come on over there, guys, from 3 p.m. until, they gave us 2 hours. I made reservations for 25. That's usually about the amount of people that show up, unless I'm in the Philippines somewhere. But I'm in Chicago. I'm anticipating more people, maybe double that. So I told them, they know it's an event, so they're prepared for it, but just come on out. I heard they got some great deep dish pizza and everything like that. As a matter of fact, I want to shout out Juice. He's one of my hosts here in Chicago. He recommended Harold's Chicken Shack, and they got some great chicken. I had the lemon pepper rub. But I'm going to tell you something, Harold. You forgot my coleslaw. I want my coleslaw, man. So, yeah, if you're anywhere around here and you can come on out. Plus, it's Final Four weekend, so there's going to be more people. I don't know if those marches, I never looked that up. Somebody put in the comments, emailed me if those marches that are supposed to take place around the nation against these tariffs, I keep wanting to say terrorists, are going to be, in downtown Chicago. And if it's going to affect getting to the venue, let me know, guys. But yeah, these tariffs are going to affect us, the little guy. America is a great place to live if you're rich. If you made those great decisions, you bought a house 30 years ago, or 40 years ago, you saved your money, you invested, you did all that, but for the majority of us, we didn't do that. So this is just another slap in the face, because every time I come to Chicago, I just stay in the Gold Coast, and I'm reminded of how great this country could be if you're rich. Because were I rich, and remember, I don't live hypothetically, but were I rich, this is where I would live. I would have me a condominium here somewhere in the John Hancock Tower, the Sears Tower, one of these fancy places overlooking. Well, I know if I went to the John Hancock building, I could overlook Lakeshore Drive, the Great Lakes and all that. That's where I would live. I wouldn't need to go overseas because Chicago, the Magnificent Mile, has that international feel to it. Certainly when it's warm, and you got all those people, you got people from all over the world. Some of the best restaurants, the Pancake House. Is that the name of it? Or the House of Pancakes, where I ate last time. Delicious, okay? Just so many places. This is where I would live, but for the most of us, we're getting caught. We're stuck between a rock and a hard place. Some people are going back to work, ladies and gentlemen, believe it or not, that I've spoken with. People who are retired. Because I think about 1 out of 6 people who retire go back to work anyway, but that percentage is going up because they're afraid of the tariffs and the rising costs. And then you got other people who want to retire, and now they're afraid to. They said, no, I'm not going to be able to afford it. I'm going to have to keep working. I'm going to have to keep running on this hamster wheel. And that's just taken away from their golden years when they should be kicked back, relaxed somewhere. And, that goes to what I'm telling you. If you're contemplating doing that, do it now. Why are you waiting? Because pretty soon you're going to get stuck over here. or wherever you are. You're not going to be able to go. Even if you want to go, you're not going to be able to go because you're not going to be able to afford it. And now they're talking about dropping bombs in Iran. Pretty soon you're not going to be able to get on a plane. Americans aren't going to be safe anywhere. This isn't a gloom or doom vlog. This is just reality. You know, I do real life. I got a real life channel. I don't play around, man. So that's why I say get out of here now while you can. Before it's too late. The clock is ticking, man. Okay? Time's not running out, but your life is. So if you're in America, if you're in the Philippines, wherever you are, find in your heart to help somebody. Not a day goes by I don't help somebody, even here in Chicago. One thing about Chicago, if you go on that Magnificent Mile, about every 50 feet, you're going to see somebody with a sign. I know now it's a hustle. But when I came here in 2012, I didn't know it was a hustle. I was like, wow, it looked like a third world country, but it's a hustle. You get all these people, I'm talking about, because I used to walk to class when I was working for WellCare. They sent me here for 2 weeks. I stayed at the White Hall. I believe it's on Delaware, somewhere. I'm only like a stone's throw from the Magnificent Mile. Well, I used to walk to class, and it blew me away. And then some people play instruments, whatever it is, but that's one thing that's going to trip you out over here. But I help people here. Because if I don't know anything else, I know this one thing for sure. When we help other people, we help ourselves. Take care. Stay safe. Stay out of trouble. I'll see you next time. Don't do anything stupid. Listen, stop putting off tomorrow what you can do today. If you're going to retire and move overseas, go ahead and do it now. If you're going to take a trip, a vacation, buy the car, buy the house, do it now. Because if you wait, it's going to cost you more. And we're not going to stop buying, guys. We're consumer junkies. We're no better than crackheads when it comes to buying Jordans and big screen TVs and fancy cars and Gucci and Prada and all that. You're going to do it. It's going to cost you more the longer you wait.